All is well here. We're about to kick off a brand new week of trading. You guys should be focused on making this the most perfect week you've ever had. Well, thank you. Yes, Father's Day yesterday, and happy belated Father's Day to all the other fathers out there as well. All right. Got a few minutes here before the open, guys. You know the drill. You know that it's not all that, it's not too much we can do to prepare, except sort of get a head start on which one of our stocks are gapping up, above the fat board, down below the fat board, trap zone, all that stuff. But you can actually just wait and see yourself. Don't be too anxious. Don't be too anxious to jump the gun on anything. Don't feel like you're going to miss something if you don't do something right away. A lot of novices fall into that trap. They start anticipating everything, and that's not the way to be. I traded for, oh shoot, man, I traded for years, waiting for the first 15 minutes to go by without placing a trade. Why? Because I used to trade the 15-minute chart, so I had to wait for that first 15-minute bar to form. Now you got traders, and I did exceedingly well. I got traders thinking like if they don't act in the first minute, they're going to miss something. Imagine waiting for the first 15 minutes to go by. You know, so you're not going to miss anything. But when it's appropriate to pile in before that first 2-minute bar, you do it. You got to know those scenarios up front. You can't just feel it or wing it or play that by gut. You got to have written down the scenarios that cause you to enter before. Let's get ready to go, guys. That cause you to enter before that 2-minute bar finishes. But otherwise, you sit and wait. Relaxed, calm, let the market come to you. No searching, waiting, observing. Boom, something. I wait for a trade to call my name. Now, there are times where I don't hear my name. And I just say, well, let me try this. There are times that is true. But for the most part, most of the time, a trade calls me and says, Oliver, I'm the one. You know? All right, so I see that Twitter's in the trap zone. Let's forget about that for now. Got here. Got AMD. Is below the fat board. Keep an eye on AMD. Yeah, Microsoft in the trap zone. I was acting really weird here this morning. Excuse me. So quite a few things in the trap zone I see. It's gonna be easy learning to. So we're just trying to break out of the trap zone. Interesting. Starbucks in the trap zone. MU looking interesting here, guys. Closing in on his first 2 minutes. MU. Let me take a quick look at the. Yeah, MU looking weak. There's a trigger right there. MU. It's a short. And you can't be. You gotta get that stop above the fat board. You can't be afraid of any bouncing to the upside. There, you gotta use the bounce to the upside. All right. So yeah, NVIDIA for my NVIDIA players. Obviously, NVIDIA's weak play. Yeah, Facebook failing on the gap here. Guys, I'm gonna see if this Facebook fails here. But above 186, above 186, I think it's a buy, but it could be a short first for my Facebook traders. Let's see, it's still neutral right now. What else is going on here? You can give QCOM a shot above the highs. All right, you can give that a shot above the highs there. Okay, there's the Facebook failure, guys. I'm going for this. I'm all ready. I'm not going to play around because I'm fighting position here, right? So there it is. I'm fighting position, and it doesn't want to give it to me. I might even lose this game here. Let's see. I might even lose the game. Yeah. We'll see. I'll stop and reverse it, but it's got to break 186. So it didn't want to give me much, so that's a sign that it could be a buy. You know, that reluctance to drop, it could be a buy, but it's got to clear 186 for me. It could be a buy. Didn't want to give it to me down there. I had $2,600. QCOM, guys. Boom. There's the QCOM. Boom. Okay, here's my Facebook trying to fail again on me here. I'm on Facebook. Where the heck are you? There we go. Come to Come on. Here we go. Someone play around here. There we go. Now we're talking. This is who's your baby? Who's your baby? Come on, baby. Who got it? Come on, You gotta talk to your stocks like that. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with talking to your stocks like that. Boom. Boom. Almost 3K on that. I don't want to play around with this because in reality, this stock is actually very bullish. Its drops are controlled. They're reluctant. It's like it doesn't want to drop. And it took a quick scalp there. But on these plays, I like to try to keep my stops real tight with these guys. So let me show you. I'm going to get the pin here. I'm going to show you here. So right here, boom, double tail formation. I hit it right here with a tight stop here, but I really want to have it clear 186 since the stop out is so close to the round number, right? But just the way it was going, trying to go down, it's like, this thing's not theirs. This is bullish, actually. So I even think that even if it drops down in this area here, it might be a buy, but you can see how powerful the greens are. You know, that's why I just killed this and didn't go for a lot. Now, your experience over time, you're going to know when a stock is, how it's trading, if it's trading more bullishly than bearishly. You know, that comes with experience. Oh, shoot, I thought I had this screen up. I'm so sorry. Oh, my God. Yeah, Mario, Microsoft knew high, but it's still in the trap zone. Huh? I mean, not that, I mean, there's nothing wrong with playing stock in trap zone. You just have to do it knowingly, you know? So you still have Microsoft, you know what I'm saying? It's all in that trap zone. So look at that Facebook I was telling you guys. So I didn't show you. So I picked up close to $3,000. Let me just go over the Facebook again because I think it's important, right? So I take the Facebook short here, right there. Boom. See the double tail formation? So I hit it up right there. But I cover real fast down here because just the way it was trading, I'm like, this is not bearish. It's going down. It's giving me this gain, but I'm going to take it because just the way it was trading down was like, I don't want to go down. I don't want to go down. I don't want to go down. I was like, this is not bearish. Let me just take the money and run with this. So I took a quick scalp. Boom. Here, got out near the lows around that. There's that 0.50. If you saw my video on round numbers and half numbers, 0.50. You got the full number 186 here, and you got the half number here, and it's like trap between the full number and the half number so far. All right. As I was saying that your experience, right, is your experience over time. You'll develop this feel for knowing when a stock is trading more bullish and when a stock is trading more bearish. Boom, close to $3,000. $3 mil en 6 minutos. Me gusta con mis bendecitos. Gaga. Microsoft's trying to come out of that trap zone. They're really nice. Now, guys, if you're going to play, let me talk to you about the trap zone. If you're going to play the trap zone, try to play with the 200 as your friends, right? So you don't want to buy in the trap zone if the 200 is above you. If you want to buy most of the time if the 200 is helping you, and that'll give you better odds in the trap zone. I mean, the very best thing is to stay away from the trap zone, at least until, you know, your odds are just better outside of the trap zone. So you start, but you know, I do want you to know how to handle yourself in the trap zone, just in case. There are some days it's rare, but there's some days you just don't have anything else. And so you might have to play the trap zone. But if you do, I'd say the best ones are where the 200, like Microsoft, 200 is helping this. You got a bottom and tail bar here. You got an elephant bar here. You see? So you got two kind of powerful signs with the 200 helping. It's confirming the 200, you know? And remember what I told you about the RBI. The RBI is the key sign that you're right. So if you bought above the high of this bottoming tail, as an example, like if you bought here, boom, here's the bottoming tail bar, here's your buy. This is the sign that now you're right. Like there's no doubt you're right. You're like, I would say that you're like 70% sure on a powerful signal, elephant tail. But if you get the RBI after an elephant tail or after a bull 180 or something like that, now you're 90% sure. So you go from 70 to 90. It's like that RBI that follows the buy is your sign that, okay, I got a winning trade now. Now I know I got a winning trade. QCOM new highs. What else is going on here? But you got a lot of things trying to figure out themselves, right? Like, so Facebook doesn't know what it wants to do. I mean, it gapped up this morning, but it's done practically nothing, right? You got Twitter is totally confused this morning, all right? You've got, and you see that in a lot of things. Even if you can't trade these, it's still good to look at them. Here's the open of NVIDIA, and here it is right now. It's basically done nothing. It's dropped and come back. Confused. You got Baba. Here's the, just confused right now. Apple had that nice power move off the 200. I'd love to see that. Again, look at Apple in the trap zone. So here's a trap zone for Apple, right? If you're going to play, there's that 200. Make sure you play most of the time in the direction of the 200. At the 200, you want to be held, right? You want that to be held. Oh, God. I just love this. I love it. Love it. I wish you could understand. Now, I want some of you to answer this for me, okay? Just a few of you. I want you to answer this for me. What makes the 200 period moving average disappear like it's not there? Go. Violence. Excellent. I love it. Violence, a wall, Julian, is another way of saying violence. Excellent. That's a great answer too. All right. So let me show you the scenario here. Starbucks. Boom. Violence. Now there is no 200. Short that baby. No. Make sense? Is that a good example? Is that a good example? See it? All right. Violence makes everything disappear. The same way, like you see in Apple. So Apple's in the trap zone, right? But the violence makes the trap zone disappear. So now there is no trap zone. You see what I'm saying? Violence makes everything around it disappear. Just remember that. That's going to make you a lot of money over your lifetime. You know, that concept right there. No, that's not. That's. I mean, I wouldn't say that's violent bar number one. That's confused. Like, I don't want my violence both ways. Like, that's not the purest form of violence. Let me demonstrate this for you. So when a stock first goes up and then it comes down, it's not pure. It's mixed, right? Okay. But look at this bar from the start to that's pure unadulterated violence. It's not wishy-washy. It's not two directions. It's not back and forth. It's decisive in one direction. You know what I'm saying? That's we want the pure violence, man. Well, Microsoft is still moving three upside. Facebook finally broke to new highs. Apple is as well. Look at Microsoft here. Now, guys, the further you get away from the last pause, right, the closer you are to some type of pullback. That pullback's viable, you know. So the novice wants to short this, whereas the professional is more likely to just wait for a pullback and maybe buy it, understanding that it could do a double dip. Boing, boing. You see, you could get two dips there, not just one. You got to play it for that. Whoa, PayPal's taking off here as well after being indecisive. Oh. Is this, Ryan's asking, is this the pull-up square? Is this red bar take, Microsoft started to pull back here, guys. Is this red bar takeout considered a pullback? No. A one bar drop is not a pullback, guys. All right? The same way you wouldn't consider an RBI a pullback, a one bar drop is not a pullback. It's not what we call a pullback. You follow what I'm saying? Is that the case in MU? Yes, MU is now neutralizing this negativity, you know? You know, remember that two color rule I told you about, right? So you get, it's like it doesn't want to follow through on red. That's always a key sign. Like it gives you red and doesn't want to drop. It gives you red, doesn't want to drop. You know, that's a sign that your play is struggling. You know, if you get that twice, your play is struggling. Listen, you can't have every play be a winner, as you know. All you have to do, guys, what you have to just do is you have to make sure that every play that doesn't work, you have to check, did I do something wrong? And I would prefer you check out the 20 of them, right? 20 trades, but you gotta go back to your losses and go over them. Like, did I do something wrong? Let me go through the process of this trade again. You gotta put work into this after the trade. And if you did nothing wrong, I played the right position, I played the right event, I had my stop in the right place, I adjusted my stops properly, I added when I was supposed to add. All right, I just lost. All right, next. And that's all. Just make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. And when that happens, you got to do it every single time. You're like, I'm going to do the 2 color stop rule on this trade, but I'm not going to do it on that trade. That's what I don't like. You got to make it permanent, or you permanent inclusion or permanent exclusion, but you don't mix it up. All right. But otherwise, you're in between and you just wait. There's nothing to do. It's the in between that gets a lot of traders in trouble. Right? In between here, this is when your thinking takes over. Your anxiety kicks in, nervousness, mental anguish. Can't we move the stop to the 200 because of time? Have I ever said move the stop to a moving average? I mean, aside from power trend? No. And where do you see time? And just asking me, can we move the stop to the 200 based on time? I've never told you to, I hate moving average stops. It's the stupidest stop in the world, right? Unless it stops power trending, I hate moving average stops. It's a novice stop. That's number one. Number two, I don't see time. I see a trend. A trend is not time. Time is this. This is time, sideways. Now that's time. Like this is a straight bullish trend. So 2 things wrong there. No moving average stops, and trends are not time. You're welcome. Let's see what else is happening here. So let me get back to it's the in-between that gets traders in trouble. They get shaken in between. They get knocked in between. They experience anxiety in between. It should be like watching a movie. Whatever happens, you get your stop out. You get your stop out. It's one trade in a lifetime of trades. It's a big deal. If you get your break even, you get your break even. Even that's not a big deal. It's just one trade. Just get to 20. Get to 20 trades this week. And then let's start taking a look after 20 trades. Don't get hung up on any single trade of the 20. Look at the whole block, 20. Group the block into sections. How many buys of the 20 trades? How many shorts? Group them by tactic. How many elephant bar plays? How many bull 180 plays? Go to work on them. Let that block of 20 trades reveal the next step for you. And you take the next one. But don't get hung up trade by trade. You guys understand what I'm saying? Feeling the weight is not what you feel. Now, here's something interesting, right? I'll drop something deep on you. You can't have an original feeling. Like, think about that, guys. You can't feel what has never been felt before. So there's nothing original about feelings, right? There's only a small handful of feelings. There's only a small handful of emotions. You can't emote differently from the rest of human beings. I mean, everyone's got this small number of emotions and feelings, and they just go from one to the other, usually their whole life, without ever stopping and saying, what the heck am I doing? Let me get off this hamster's wheel. I'm running in the same place. And when you're no longer governed by these things that pop up like a feeling, an emotion, you're not governed, your actions aren't governed by them anymore. That's when liberty begins, right? To act without it coming from an emotion, and to act without it coming from a feeling, is creative action. It's not reactionary. So feeling and then action comes from my feeling. That action is not original. Emotion and then act from the emotion. That action is not original or creative. But when the action doesn't have an origin, it's not a result, it's a cause. Well, when your trades, right, this just looks darker. Oh, this was embarrassing. Give me a second.